What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Make It Custom. I'm Carl Fisher, and today we are going to do something that I've been kind of wanting to do for a long time, and despite what some of you may think, I personally don't love my metalworking stand. You guys seem to love it, but this thing is just the catch-all, and it's probably because I just have too much stuff. Some of the things about it that I don't really like are the way the set screws hold pieces in when you put things like this on, and it's just a catch-all. We don't need all these little spots. They end up just catching everything. So what I would like to do in this video, and something that Elio and I have been talking about for a while, is a way to organize and have an attachment for the shrinking stump itself that comes off of here, that can hold hammers nice and neat, that can hold dollies nice and neat, and then also has a post so that you can use tools on the post, like my post dollies and other things like that, perhaps the shrinker stretcher that we made in the last couple of videos as well. That is what we're working on today, is organizing the way things are metal shaped with the Mother Tucker stump and making accessories for it. And these are going to be things that we are developing so that if you do have a Mother Tucker stump, like, there'll be a way for you to get this kit or whatever. This is all just to try and make it a little bit more compact and easier for the guy that's, you know, a DIYer in your garage. You don't have a ton of space, but you want to be able to do metal shaping. Let's kind of make this more of an all-in-one thing. So don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications. Let's make a really cool metalworking stand that anybody can have in their home shop. Let's go. Okay, so what this thing has to do is it has to hold, I think, 10 hammers.
10 hammers and what, 5 to 10 dollies?
I'd say 10 dollies.
10 dollies.
Like a normal hammer dolly.
Well, I feel like you'd have less hammers than dollies. No?
Well, I mean, people are going to collect hammers. Like, yeah. I've got way too many hammers, but what this should hold is, I think, yeah, 10 hammers at least.
10 and 10.
10 dollies. And how far away, because we're going to try and put, I think, two, or I'm going to call them stake posts, but really we're going to use hitch tube.
Stands.
So what I want to do is, like, come out from the shrinking stump with a couple of pieces of whatever. We'll probably end up cutting these on the CNC and making them specific for what we're trying to do with it. But at the end, we are going to have a hitch tube and a hitch tube, you know. This is going to stabilize this as well. It's just going to make everything so much heavier, right? So if we do 2 hitch tubes, then you could potentially have like a sandbag on one. You could potentially have an accessory like a post dolly on the other.
Put a vise to it, like if you put it on a stand. Like
yeah, you could put one of these on a hitch tube and drop it in. You could put one of the shrinkers or the stretchers that we just made on that, like, you know.
The possibilities are endless. Or you can make an extension for here that comes out again.
Right, yeah. We're going to make like an accessory that allows you to, like, kind of step out a little bit so that perhaps you're hammering on something over here. I want this to be a kit that allows you to kind of make it how you want it. So, like, if we're going to use the CNC and make side plates for this, they're going to perhaps have like a wave pattern in them to neatly hold each hammer. Yeah,
and then we'll put holes in the bottom so then it aligns the hammers themselves.
Right, but like those plates that come across that have the waves in them, perhaps we have like 2 slots for tab and slot, and then 2 holes, and then 2 slots, and then 2 holes, and 2 slots and 2 holes. So perhaps we have a U-shaped piece that you can stick on the side for another hammer, or a U-shaped piece that sticks on the side where you could put one of your post tools.
Allows for easy expansion.
But you could put it anywhere along there. If we make them equal length, and if we have holes that are equal length, you could also bolt on a flange to add your own custom tooling piece, right? Like maybe
kind of like one of the weld tables. It's very
it's sort of like it's customizable, right?
Yeah.
Because the other thing I want it to hold is needs to be able to hold these, right? So you could either have like something holding a few of those off the side. Or we could have, you know, like a bolt that hangs it.
Yeah, or stud or something that just allows you to.
Yeah, so let's do some kind of tab and slot. Maybe, I think earlier you were saying like try and keep this 6 inches down just in case your panel.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to keep it.
We got a tape measure? So that's about 6 inches down.
I think 6 inches will allow you, like if a piece goes over, there's still enough room to keep it movable and not get in the way.
Yeah, that's about in the center of, and then about how much do we need? We need about 2 inches on center for hammers.
Yeah.
So that'd be 20 inches to get 10. So
And
yeah,
then plus another, what, 2.5 inches for the
hitch tube.
For the hitch tube.
So it would be 22.5 long in total. That's not a bad size.
No. And then what we'll go, we'll probably go
What is this?
10 wide.
11. So you're about, well, they're going to be centered in that.
Yeah.
Right? Each one will be centered in that.
So 11.
So let's call it, yeah, I guess the whole thing is going to be 34 inches or so. Under 3 feet. That's like a nice small size that I feel like anybody can fit. Let's have a look at all of our dollies and then measure what size will fit them all. Ooh, so I wonder if you make both sides for hammers or dollies. Like I was kind of picturing the dollies being separated so that they don't become all just jumbled up in a pile, like they almost have like a separator.
Oh, so each one has a home.
Yeah, if every one of them has a home, it just like satisfies the OCDs,
Yeah.
you know?
I don't think it's a bad thing if one side does more. Like, or one side does the dollies and one side does hammers.
No, I don't think that's a bad thing either. Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah. So what's the... You're not sold on it.
No, I'm just, my brain has too many options.
Yeah.
I just think that there is a way to make this in such a way where it can all just be cut out of the same material and fit together.
Yeah.
That's kind of ideally what I would like it to be, is that it's versatile enough that someone could change it up for what tools they have.
Yep.
But common enough that you don't have to buy or figure anything else out.
Yeah.
If someone were to say somebody already has this and they want this as a kit, like you can get them a kit that has everything that they would need to configure it in a couple different ways. So
I think these ones we should do the hook though, like on the side. Because even if we...
You like this hook?
That's more universal, but if we just put a piece of rod or...
pin?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody could just run a bolt.
Because then for these, you can put them on this side too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll probably
And
go
then you
on
can
the
utilize... No, but even the center of the actual... Because all the dollies are going to be on the outside.
see.
There's
Yep.
still going to be like a void of space on the inside.
True. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's stuff on that. I suppose the other option on this side, if it was just going to be a tray, is that we could just make a bent tray. We're gonna end up probably changing things that we don't like. So let's call that a plan.
Cool.
We'll grab the computer and we'll just kind of, I'm sure things might change a little bit on that, but we'll just like go to time lapse now. I'm gonna pull out the laptop, gonna design some of this stuff. Let me know in the comments if you guys really want another breakdown video of drafting in AutoCAD. I use a program called DraftSite, and you guys have seen it every time I do a time lapse of me designing something. A couple of people have asked, so I just want to gauge by this video. If you guys really want to see that breakdown and have like a specific teaching one, because I do think if it's something that you're interested in getting into, the drafting and AutoCAD side is a lot scarier than it actually is. I failed drafting. It was like over my head, or I told myself that it was when I was in high school. And now with the necessity of having a machine and learning how to use it, either they've made the programming easier or I just can pick it up easier. It is literally easier than drawing out a perfect template. You can do it in this program, and there's very simple hotkeys. Like, I want to draw a line, you start typing L and it like just pops up. Or I want to do a circle and you start typing C and it pops up. So if that's something that you guys want to learn, let me know. I'll do a full breakdown. We'll design some parts in real time, and I'll talk about some of the hotkeys, and perhaps you guys will be demystified on some of that drafting stuff. Because like Elio's like a whiz at it now, and like he's been a whiz longer than I have. And it's just something,
It's easier to draw on the program than it is on a piece of paper, almost, to a certain extent. Like,
I find it easier.
Yeah.
Like, I need very simple measurements, and I can make stuff in that program. Also, even if you don't have a CNC, like perhaps you need some parts made for a project, and you want to go to like Send Cut Send, or like there's all these other places where you can just send them your files and you get your parts. So if that's something that like you don't need a CNC machine to benefit from the knowledge of being able to make some of these drawings, right? And all this drawing software there's ways to get it for free. Like, I pay for my version, but there are tons of free drawing softwares out there where you can make these files to make these parts. But
or even like Fusion for a hobbyist is free.
Yeah, Fusion 360 for hobbyists is
and it's
free.
a very powerful program. It's just...
Yeah. Okay, we are going to time lapse this though, and because it's not really a CAD thing, we're working on the stump kit. So anyway, turn this in to some files, do some cutting, 10 gauge plate. We'll grab the plate from outside, and we'll make some sparks. Okay, so just want to kind of go over what we're thinking here. So this first drawing is just very basic. That's going to be our flange. This is what's going to go against the actual wood. So sitting vertically like this. We've got a nice amount of room for our bolts and whatever. And then the next thing we've got designed here is this is the side of where all the hammers are going to go, like this. Okay, this is the bottom piece. Picture this as a U channel. So this is the top of the U. Maybe back this up a little bit. So like this piece is the top. Oops. Or sorry, the sides of the U, and this is the bottom of the U. So these corner edges will kind of slot together and fit together a little bit, give us a spot to weld. And this side has all these slots that will allow us to make different little hooks or different little things that could attach to this and allow you to add onto it with different things. Like, for example, I've got this mushroom dolly, and this could have, you know, a couple little hooks to hook it on the side of our hammer holder. That's kind of what I'm thinking anyway. It gives us all kinds of ways to expand. These holes will be the hammer handles dropping through. What I might actually do is sometimes when you see tab and slot, this will actually drop back in to give you a place to weld. So I think I'll probably end up doing that as a modification, but that's where we're at. The next things I'm gonna do are going to be making some little accessory hooks for the side, like I was saying, and I think that we're probably just gonna cut this out and get it going. That was a lot of cutting, okay? That was like, what was it, 2.5 hours of cutting to cut that full sheet? Over 1,000 pierces. We didn't even go through one consumable, which is kind of sweet. So, you know, Hypotherm, you're not sponsoring me. These are great. Anyway, we are making now a little bit of a saddle for the Mother Tucker hammer. Since we're working on the Mother Tucker shrinking stump, and the pieces that we just made, those arms are not really meant for big hammers. They're meant for all your body hammers. Kind of wanted like a specific little home for the Mother Tucker. So just making a little bit of a bendable piece. My idea, and something that Elio and I have been talking about, is like, if these are accessories that we're going to be able to send out to people with the Mother Tuckers, it would be awesome if they were like a flat pack kit, right? So shipping's a little bit less, and then you guys can, you know, follow along with the video like this. I think we'll make more videos like this. Is kind of just to get ready for classes in this shop. They're coming. So that's why we're making this whole sheet, is I'm going to make a bunch of these shrinking stumps so that people can have them here. But I do also want to offer these to you guys at home that have the Mother Tucker setup. So we are probably going to refine this a little bit from what we've learned making these parts, and then keep accessorizing. And I'm really excited to get these welded together and kind of make a bit of a station and hook it up with all the tools that I've got, so that we can kind of see how everything fits. So anyway, that's where we're at. we're gonna cut this out. We got some more flanges to cut because unfortunately I was a little bit off on my dimensions with these flanges that are gonna mount the arms that we're building to the wood. So we're gonna have to recut a few of these, and then we're gonna make these mounts, and then we're gonna start assembling it and seeing what else it needs to be a complete station. So. So what we're cutting now is I'm just making like a bit of a tray that's going to connect the two sides together. So if you were to use it how we're using it, where we're going to have two different rows. All right, we got a bunch of that stuff cut. Like, what was that? 1,000 pierces?
Yeah, a little more.
Over 1,000 pierces. 2.5 hours.
A lot of inches. A lot of feet of cutting.
Yeah. Okay, but it's now we are ready to stick this all together. We've got enough to make 3 arms, and what an arm will consist of is these 2 pieces, and then one of these will be the bottom. Slot together like this, and then it gives us little spots to weld. See how this fits? You can just weld right in that corner, just stitch it up. That's what I'm going to do now, and then these will also tab and slot into the flanges that anchor to the actual mother tucker, and then this tray can tab and slot bridge the two together to just add more strength. If I guess first we're going to do 2 at the same height and then a second one somewhere else for some extra dollies, right? So we're going to end up with 3 arms, 2 hitch posts. Okay. Make sure our welding's okay. So Lincoln set at, I got what, like 6.5, and D, this is 10 gauge, or just slightly under, I believe.
No gas.
Is there no gas? I heard the gas on. Is there no gas? Oh, there's gas.
Is there too much wires?
Yeah, just kind of like holding the right. We'll go E6.
Sounds great.
jumps in.
Yep.
I know everybody welds different, but when I like try and make like a nice weld that has little beads, I do the whip and pause. I just kind of like go forward a bit, come back not quite as far, and stop. Go forward a bit, come back not quite as far, and stop. And you just kind of like time yourself that way. As long as you like hold your hand steady and kind of have your nozzle at the right angle, and you can move the whole length of your weld. That's the other thing. Here's another tip. Because like sometimes you might like get awkward finishing a weld. Just always make sure that you can kind of steadily hold your hand the whole way. And the steadier you are, the nicer your weld's gonna be. I think like a lot of people get hung up on like, oh, they're just not as good of a welder. It's just, you're just not as steady, you know? You just get the right settings and be steady, that's all it is. So make it sound like bacon. Make sure your welds are hot enough and be steady. And you can just totally push a weld totally straight and have the right heat setting, and you don't have to do any signature on it. You could just weld straight, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're wondering how I get welds to kind of look spiffy, it's just whip and pause.
You can definitely hear, like, when you're whipping and pausing, like, the sound. It stops, and then it goes again, and then it stops, and then it goes again.
Yeah, my welding teacher, he kind of told me that it's almost like you're preheating the metal, and then you're coming back and you're filling up. And so, like, when you're watching it, you just want to make sure that you can actually see your wire. As long as you can see your wire, you kind of, like, push forward, and you kind of watch. You just kind of burn a little bit forward. You come back, and then you'll watch, like, as soon as you stop, you'll watch the weld grow. And you can just kind of get used to the size that it grows. And then that's how you know you're being consistent with your pauses. So you just, as long as you can see well, you know, I think, I think some people just have bad eyes and can't see, and they say they can't weld because they can't see anything. I think some people just need to clean their helmets. And I think some people just probably aren't able to see the puddle. You know, or you're focusing on the wrong spot.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Could probably be a little bit hotter of a weld, I suppose.
Those ones look nice.
Could be a little hotter. All right. Okay, we got these made. This will go I'm probably gonna stick it closer to the edge, like where the hitch tubes are, right?
I would.
Just for strength, stability. That's gonna be pretty strong. Goes like, ooh. Okay. way stronger. Let's go try it. Or should we bring the stump here?
I think we should cut the lengths of the...
Yeah, that's right.
The trailer
cut
hitch
the tubes,
material,
cut the tubes. Hey, will this saw eat this thing? Will it eat it?
Both?
Yeah.
Probably.
Think so?
The saw is quite strong.
Kind of blows me away.
Plug it in, plug it in. No, you didn't.
That right there is like subliminal advertising at its finest. I said plug it in. You started humming the Glade plugins commercial.
Cold to the touch. Literally.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? It's pretty wild. It's a good tool.
Have you changed the blade yet since you got this?
I have not changed the blade yet.
Made in Japan, premium quality.
Starting to sound like commercial, Elio. Okay.
Is it gonna fit?
I hope so. Yeah, it fits perfect. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's actually a little tight. Okay, so I guess we're gonna make them flush with the top of this. So they're gonna go like that. Ooh, that one went in super nice. What is this?
Oh, we'll see if it's square.
You don't trust my micrometer? Oh. Yes. I was gonna square it. I'm just pulling your chain. Are we juiced up? Yeah, we're
Maybe go a bit spicy just because.
Yeah, it's like hitch tube. Okay. You know, the other thing we need to do is maybe make like a flat pad for the bottom, you know?
Ooh, I got the perfect thing.
Do you?
For ours, not. We'll definitely have to make the pad for it. Oh, so we screwed up the measurements on a bunch of these, so these will be our new legs.
Yeah, that's actually perfect. The slots you could even weld onto it like blindly from the inside if you wanted. That's perfect.
Okay, do some interior design next. Carl, yo, this one isn't flush with the ground on this side.
Would you look at that? How did that happen?
I don't know.
Who did that?
That's where it's from.
Crazy. It's squared to this, but yeah. I squared it to this because it's not sitting square on the table, but. Okay, I'm gonna cut that off. Cutting.
Well, I think as long as, no, since it's only welded on that side, just hold that side, I'll pull this one down Because that should be enough.
What are you talking about?
If you just hold that.
I don't want it to be square to the table right now. I want it to be square to our piece.
Okay.
Yeah. It's square to this.
Okay, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. You got to cut it off to bring it down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How are we looking there? Are we pretty close?
Yeah, I'd say we're pretty square.
Square-ish, right?
Yep. Should we get a marker and pre-drill these holes?
Yeah. We're looking square still, right? Not quite. We can go up a little. So, actually, I'll just bring this closer. Right there. There. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So. Okay, pull that away. Drill guy.
So we're gonna drill these holes to 3/8 for use of these 1/2-inch lag bolts. These are gonna zoink into there.
I think 1/2-inch lag bolts might be overkill, but it also might not, because this thing could get pretty heavy, I guess, right? All right, just gonna weld inside a little bit. Okay, You think that's enough? Enough welding?
I think that's enough.
I wonder how solid this thing. Oh no, we gotta do the bottom. Never welded the bottom flanges yet. Okay, there's still things that need to be done, right? We still need to weld our side pieces on. We still need some way of dividing these so that, I mean, you could just stick your dollies in here, but what we've been talking about is because we've made all these nice slot holes in this metal so that we can put on things like these tabs that are gonna, you know, hang extra hammers or extra dollies off the side, those kind of things. Because those slots are there, we could make a little piece of flat bar that has a couple little notches in it that you could slide through the slot, and then it would notch down and kind of lock in place, and you could divide this up for the dollies. And I think it'd keep it really neat, so that's something else. Okay, so we got a little bit more work to do, but I'm stoked with how it looks and how it is for size and what it potentially can hold. Like,
put a couple hammers in there?
Yeah, well, let's drag it over there and let's actually get as far as we can get with it. Let's put all the stuff on it.
Cool.
And then we'll see if it needs anything else while we're making those other adjustments, right? Okay, we're gonna drag it over there and start filling it up. I'll bring all these pieces, we'll bring the welder over, and we'll start mounting some of the other dollies to this stand.
Hey.
Sweet.
Cool.
We need the welder. Okay, so we got a few things that we could potentially mount. We made these tabs in some different sizes. I'm thinking these guys don't get used as much, so maybe these ones could mount on the inside. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of like that. Because nothing else is really going to be there. Like hammers are going to be on this side, but we could do this, right? How's that?
That's upside down.
Is that like gonna fit? Probably. It's probably a good spot for that one. We'll just tack them like so that we could break them and try in a few spots. This is kind of fun.
Let's connect for
grown-ups. Yeah.
Let's connect.
Okay, one there. Stick one there.
What's the distance on center on these slots?
They're all, I think are they 1 inch on center?
Yeah.
Yep, they're 1 inch on center. So it's nice and like, you know, easy, universal. Oh, buddy, it's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna throw my helmet on. We'll just tack that one in a little better. Okay.
One down.
One down. Where would this one fit nice? Could it be right against? Not quite. We need a little bit of a space. So we'll go to the next spot.
So these two.
What size should we use?
Oh, probably the medium one. Those ones fit?
I don't know if they fit yet. Not quite. A little bit shy.
Was this one longer? Or is that the same one? Same one.
I think.
We have to make like a.
Is there an in-between? Didn't we make an in-between? Yeah, we could make another size, but doesn't really matter. That way you could put them in either one, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
You know? See how they are level-wise with the micrometer. You go down a touch. Good. There. That guy there. Okay. How about some T-dollies? Let's gather up our T-dollies, see what we got. A few different sets over the years. I think these could kind of stack up on the outside.
Yep.
Like kind of like that.
There's one over here.
Okay, there's one.
We got all of them, I think.
Do we?
Yep.
Missing one?
Missing one. Can we bring it over there?
I'm not sure. It's okay. We can just make it for what we've got. So what size would be good for a stack of 3 T-dollies? Here, I'll hold on to that.
Yeah, I think that'll work well.
Okay, that'll be the size. Should we do them right near the end? We're still okay there, right? Kind of sit below that, nothing's gonna hit it. Maybe we step them in a little bit. Space out 2 sets of T-dollies, so maybe here.
Yeah, I think there, yeah.
And then it's kind of in line with this also? Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. How many more of those do we have? We have enough, right? 4 of each?
We have 6 of each.
I think we're gonna need some more.
Okay.
That's okay though, we get them in a minute. What do we got there and there? It looks pretty even. Hopefully that fits. So if we had, let's see, that's for that one. This is for this one. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Just like that.
Look at that.
Not bad, right?
Not bad.
Not bad. Okay. We will approve that with a weld. This one, these ones there, and then that one. Sweet. So we got room for another set down here. We'll just do it in line with these guys. I only have 3 sets, but I just think that we could do a 4th one for whatever else.
I mean, there's long ones there.
Okay.
Look at how neat that is.
It's so neat. It's so neat and tidy. Now, my other question would be whether or not we can get, like, does snips go in there? I guess they kind of can. If there was dividers, you know, you could put snips in here.
Yep.
Right? Those dividers, I think, are a good idea. Because you could, yeah, put a divider in there. Yeah. It's still below this. Kind of at a good height. So what else do we want to hang off of here? A couple of hammer mounts, because we've got some different hammers. You know, some side mount hammers, maybe. Let's load it with the body hammers and see where it's at. A few more.
I know what I just thought of. You know how we were talking about the clips that go inside here to divide it?
Yeah.
We could also just put hooks on these, so these go in and hook.
You could also do that
Yeah.
as well. I think the only difference about that would be like
They can move side to side.
Yeah, like it would move side to side, and then you'd have something protruding on the inside where all of these are kind of tight.
Correct, yeah.
But I like your idea with that, because if this was made a little bit wider, then you could have them like movable.
Yeah.
But I also wonder banging on something if they'd kind of hop around. I like it though. I like that idea. So like that, I mean, that fits on there. It didn't actually make it for that. I was thinking about this one. You know?
I think you move that one forward and that one at the back, maybe.
Yeah, that would probably fit. That there. That there. Boom. Look at that. So nice. I mean, that kind of fits. Not really though.
No. I think that one would be better hung upside down.
Yeah, you know what? Is we could maybe even make some hooks like this.
Yeah.
You know, some just like.
Let's just do a few like hits on the top of here to see like how much this is gonna actually vibrate, because.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be more like when you hit the steel frame, but yeah, try it. Yeah, like whack that really hard. That's fine.
It's solid. It's crazy how much the wood absorbs.
Yeah. And like just so much weight hanging off of that. Okay, so we've got a bunch there. We'd probably have, you know, things that were odd shapes in the little tray, unless, ooh, that works for that too. You could have the doll, like the, you know, stuff hanging in there. We got these things potentially, you know, that's too big for that, but this could always hang like, that's a good spot for that. What else do we got? What else can we fit in this weird little rack? You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the hitch tube size that slips in here, and I'm gonna weld a thick plate to the top that has a slightly smaller square in it, like as if it was a post anvil. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So then it will be able to accept all these tapered square things, like maybe a smaller one for those two, and this one, that's what those all fit into. Like it'd be able to just knock into that. And then a slightly larger one for this guy. I think that'll be good. I'm loving it. What else can we fit on there? Actually, this guy was supposed to go down here. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of all the T section, you know? I guess you could hang stuff on this side on the inside too, because it's available from this side to grab.
Yeah, the stuff that you don't use as
the very heavy stuff, right? Like this. Let's do that.
Do you need more long ones? Or?
I've got some medium ones. I think they should be long for down there. Yeah, I think we do need.
Two right there.
Yeah, 2 right here. So we'll probably need maybe 2 more. Oh yeah, there's that and this one. There's a lot of these. That doesn't fit too well. I think this one will. It kind of fits okay there. These don't fit though. I bet you we could get this guy right here. If we did a little mount right there. Perhaps somewhere. This guy goes down here. Perfect. We just need a home for this guy. That thing's been so hammered. This is from like a shoemaker guy, so I don't know what he was hammering with that. Like,
so you flatten the soles?
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, that one's unknown for now. We need another spot for it. A long one there would probably do it. Yeah.
Just put it over on that side then?
Yeah, that doesn't need to be in here. Okay, and then we got our little Mother Tucker hammer mount. We got to put this on, right?
Need that.
We got to have the specific hammer mount. Check this guy out. Little 4-bolt mount like that. Boom. Perfect. Boom. Right there. Somewhere like that.
Look at that.
We got to clean one up though. This one's not cleaned yet. This plate was sitting outside for so long. Finally, we used it for something.
Well, it's gonna be an art project.
Yeah, that's right. I had plans to do stuff inside the house that was gonna require a bunch of rusty plate. I just never got around to it.
And so nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we could use the bender, but if somebody's at home and using this kit, they might not have a heavy-duty bender that could do that. Missing one. There we go. Okay. Do you think on one of these sides or on the end here? Probably on the end, hey? Or maybe not.
This one will be all 3.
Hey?
This one will be all 3.
Maybe we'll put one here, one there. I guess you could do 2 MTs pretty easy, right? Go like that.
I don't think.
Like that. Go like that, pretty easy. Do 2.
Yeah.
I don't really think you need 2 per, because we're gonna build a ton more of these setups in here for, right? Like we're gonna get like 6 more of these stumps, right? So that we can do classes here at Make It Custom, coming 2024. Okay, let's just
do one in the middle.
Just do one right there.
It makes it look complete.
Yeah, agreed.
It like finishes it all up.
Ah.
Using your nuts. I think 4 is completely unnecessary.
Pardon me?
4 is completely
4? I don't know, man. think it's gonna shake a lot.
Hold up a house.
We're all about overbuilding, okay? Get more for your money. I want this to be like stuff that, you know, when you get old, your kids can still mess with it, you know? Look at that.
Not gonna bounce out of there.
Ah! Nothing's shaking around. Sweet, man. Looking good. Feeling good. Look at all that. Everything is in this tiny little package. And it has room to grow. This is Elio's favorite tool.
No, the other one. They'll have seen it before the video. Where is it? Where's there it is. This tool is bought for everyone. You'll have seen this by the time this video comes out.
That's Elio's favorite tool right there.
The noise maker.
The noisy one. Yeah. So yeah, we could make things that kind of like space that up if you wanted it to be higher. It's so easy, like since it's like hitch tube, right? Too cool. Gotta love that. You know what else I was thinking too? Is that technically, like this stuff is like pretty easily configurable, right? So if you wanted a metalworking station where 2 people could mess around, you could have this like that. You take another one of these arms, you come off here, go this way, you could have another shrinking stump right here and share all the tools, right? Like you could have somebody working there and somebody working
one,
here.
Like you could have this one a different contour or anything. Like.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it could be like this, connected, and then it could also come out this way and have, you know, more stuff. Because like we have more stuff than this to put on here. Like once, I mean, it'd be nice to have a sandbag mount and like a few different things, but this is just like build-outable, you know? It's expandable, which will be kind of neat because we've also got plans to make like a bigger Mother Tucker. This might be like the Father Tucker shrinking stump. Like we want to make like a big boy that's got, you know, maybe 3 or 4 different bowls in it so that you could choose, because sometimes you want something really tight for shrinking. Like for example, like this little bowl, I do use that for shrinking because it's nice and tight, small. If you got to get into a really small spot, you could use a smaller bowl. Same with this stuff. So yeah, you know what I was thinking, Elio and I were talking about these two, is that obviously we mentioned that we want to have a bolt in here to tighten down onto whatever it is. But for something like this, it would be great to have a stop collar. So the offcut of this material, I think we should just grab a couple of 1/2-inch slices of that, slip it onto this, let that sit on against it, and then weld those on.
Yep.
Yeah? Or do you think that the pin idea is better to adjust? It's just, I feel like...
The color, you can set every one to what you want it to be. Because not every tool has the same working height.
Yeah. Yeah, the collar, because you're like anything that's going to be a 2x2 square tube that goes in here, chances are you made it.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, that works out that way. And the other thing, you know, start collecting hitches. That's also why I wanted this out of hitch tube, is because hitches themselves obviously fit hitch tube, and they're everywhere, and they're always cheap. Right? You see them at garage sales, swap meets, whatever, $5, $5, $5. Somebody had a trailer, they just got extra hitches. I've bought too many hitches because I lose them, you know? So they're easy dollies to have around. The other thing that we're gonna make is a 90-degree adapter I think we mentioned that before. We want to make a 90-degree adapter that sits inside here that has a piece of hitch tube so that something could mount in it this way and perhaps slide out and have another hitch tube here so that you could have this tool out here, or you could have this tool out here, or wherever else. And how that might come into play is if we have, you know, a panel that's big and bulky, right? You want to bring a fender over to, say, one of these stake dollies, and if that stake dolly is hanging around here, maybe the fender interferes with this. So we could have like an offset piece that comes out that's adjustable so that you could work the fender away from there. I'm trying to think about all the scenarios, right? Like, I'm totally open to anybody's feedback on this. I think this video is running on and we have like so many more things that we could potentially do. And I'm gonna build this out even further and build more of these so you guys will be in the loop. But I think I'm gonna end it here with the request that you guys comment and let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and perhaps what other things that you could see that would be advantageous to build onto here. I'm really excited about this whole thing because it does make for a very neat, organized way to display and get access to all your hammers, all your dollies, you know, and it's something that's expandable. If you got a little bit more room, then yeah, you could make this thing a little bit bigger. I think that we could put wheels on it. I want to make something so that we can lag bolt wheels to the stump at the bottom, that when this is sitting flat, the wheels are flat against the ground so it's not moving, and then a way so that you can maybe pick up the end with like a little swivel wheel. Anyway, that's for a later date. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Elio and I had a blast on this. Thanks, man. You really helped out a lot with all of our fast cut CNC type nesting and everything. Elio's a total whiz of that stuff. Once again, thanks to Fast Cut CNC, because I mean, that machine's just awesome. And obviously it just prints whatever we tell it to print. So yeah. Check us out on the next video. Really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to get back to our roots of doing a little bit more teaching and a little bit more, you know, valuable information, like stuff that you guys can use at home. I think that that's kind of what the channel was about in the beginning, and I want to keep doing that. So please give me all the feedback you want, and catch us next time on Make It Custom. See you later.